Will you have dreams of having epic adventures with your children, stealing back that quality time to spend with those you love the most? But there's one problem. Travel is expensive. Now come on, let's get real. We all know that it is. But that doesn't mean you can't travel with your children. And I am here today to help you with a few tips on how you can make travel more affordable for your family. Well, I know because I've been traveling with my two daughters since they were born, and they're now 11 and 7. We've learned a lot over the years, and I'm excited to share some of those tips with you today. Now be sure to subscribe to our channel because this is the first video in a family travel series where we share our best tips to help you overcome your biggest frustration surrounding traveling with your kids. So my first tip is prioritize. If traveling with your kids is important to you, then make it a priority. This will mean reducing the amount of money you spend on other things in your life that aren't really important to you or give you that instant gratification and comfort. Yes, sacrifice sucks, but those small sacrifices can mean monumental gains in the long run. That is spending quality time with your children, who we all know grow way too fast. Tip number 2 is to earn and travel. Now this may not be the relevant or the style in which some of you want to travel, but I'm including it here because it's how I have managed to travel for over 20 years. Yep, I simply earn money as I travel. I have lived in 5 different countries, doing jobs such as teaching, waitressing, bar work, working on a pearl farm, and Craig used to work for Delta Airlines, which meant free standby plane tickets. Thank you, business class tickets to Australia. There are many ways that you can earn money while you're traveling, which greatly reduces your expenses and the need to save. Tip number 3 is to travel with them when they're young. Babies and young children really don't need much when they travel. They can often get free or cheap flights, and you can pretty much carry their own food and drink with you everywhere. Our eldest is now creeping towards the adult travel prices, and she's even demanding to eat off the adult menu now, so I'm like a little bit stressed about how our travel costs are going to rise quite soon. We've had it good for the past 10 years. So make sure you start traveling with your kids when they're young, and when they get older, well, make them go out and get a job to pay for the travels. That's one of those easy things about parenting, right? Tip number 4 is to enjoy a staycation. Our family loves exploring our local area. It is way cheaper and way less hassle. Think about what it is that you love about a travel experience and why you travel, and look for those similar experiences in your own backyard. You really won't care that you're not traveling overseas, because you'll be getting that feeling that you're searching for from travel. Tip number 5 is to consider road trips. Now, road trips are absolutely our favorite way to travel as a family. There is no airport hassle, no excess luggage, no overpriced flights for every single member of your family. You can carry a lot more. You can run on your own schedule. You can get off the beaten path for those unscripted travel adventures as well. Now, with a road trip, the journey becomes part of the travel experience as well. Who doesn't love those I Spy games and endless karaoke in the car with your family members? Now stay tuned, because at the end of this year, in December 2018, we are heading for an epic road trip across the USA in our brand new travel trailer. Tip number 6 is to camp. Now, with this crazy switched on urban lifestyle we all lead, it is so important for us to unplug and reconnect to nature. Camping is good for everyone's soul and super cheap. Now, don't worry if you don't like bugs and a little bit of discomfort. There are plenty of glamping options these days, as well as motorhomes, RVs, and travel trailers. But really, nothing beats sleeping in a swag under a starry sky. Number 7 is dig deep for deals. Use deal finding sites like Groupon to discover local tours and experiences, often at half the price. Local magazines and tourism brochures may also have plenty of discount codes for you. If we're visiting a city that has a lot of attractions we want to visit, we will often buy a sightseeing or city pass, which saves us huge amounts of money on attraction costs and can give us discounts at things like restaurants as well. Tip number 8 is to swap the hotel room for the home rental. Now, hotels come with plenty of extra fees, expensive restaurants, and endless opportunities for tipping. Families can save a lot of money by renting a home instead. Not only on the room rate, but on eating out and tipping, and of course those pesky resort fees. And of course you get so much extra space. Now families, you know that you need it. This is a great tip especially for larger families, as you'll often have to rent 2 hotel rooms, which really blows up your costs. Even better, travel with other families and rent a huge house, which will be even cheaper and you can all have mad fun together. You can rent homes near Disneyland in Orlando that sleep around 24 people for about $5,000 a week. That makes a cheap vacation. Tip number 9 is to save costs on food. You can cook in your apartment, take your own snacks and lunches with you, look for kids eat free or happy hour deals, and check out some grocery buffet restaurants. They can often be very cheap and suits all the fussy eaters in the family. If you're eating out, it is cheaper to eat out for breakfast or lunch, and I think it's better on those kids' emotional moods as well. And don't forget, it's always a good idea to get your kids to share meals, especially in the US, because those sizes are ginormous. Now, tip number 10 is to travel out of season. This may be tricky if you're taking into account school. Now, stay tuned for a video in this series coming up on balancing school and travel. But you can save a lot of money by simply traveling out of peak season. That rental home in Orlando I told you for $5,000 a week, in peak season, it's probably about $10,000. And of course, how much nicer is it to travel when there are less crowds? We homeschool and so tend to spend the summer months at home in our apartment and then go traveling throughout the rest of the year when the rest of the kids are in school. Now this saves us a lot of money. You can use features like flexible travel dates in booking search engines to help you find those out of season or shoulder season deals. Our final tip is tip number 11. Check for hidden fees. It feels like family travel is rife with hidden fees. What about those awful resort fees? They're those hidden extra charges for things like Wi-Fi, newspaper delivery, gymnasiums, pools that these resorts offer you and you think you're getting for free. That's why it's super important to really evaluate your accommodation choices. A lot of hotels are also going to charge you extra for parking, and that can be very expensive. And don't forget those extra taxes you have to pay, and be on the lookout for some extra booking fees as well. Other hidden fees to watch out for are rental excess insurance coverage. Now, be very careful when renting a car. You may not need to pay this. Your credit card may automatically cover it for you, or if you have a travel insurance policy with Allianz, this will be covered as well. So there's no need to pay for those extra excess charges. Well, they're all the tips I have for you today. Look, there are so many ways that you can save money on travel, but they're my top 11 for you. So let me know in the comments below, which of those tips are you going to take action on today so that you can start having those quality moments with your precious babies who are growing up far too quickly in front of your eyes. Many thanks to our sponsor, Allianz Travel, who, like us, want you to create those memorable moments through travel with those you love the most. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you won't miss the upcoming episodes in our Family Travel Tips series. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video.